Howdy folks, it's Tadpole Smitty. I'm in Tadpole Smitty's garage. Today, I want to show you a problem I'm having on my Fat Tad. Let's go out and take a look at it. All right, here's my fatty, the warthog, right here. SunSeeker CSX Fat Tad. She's a little bit fixed up. A lot of blackout. I blacked out a lot of stuff. I built my own custom head rack, my own saddlebags on the back, a trunk. I do put a sun top on here most of the time, but right now I have it off. Gel pad underneath the foam. It's all you need. This is so comfortable. I finally figured out my seat. But that's not why we're here today, folks. The reason we're here is this front headset bearing. I cannot tighten it down. It will not tighten up. It has a lot of play in it. You look at the fender. See if I can do this. I'm gonna have to sit on the trike. When I first got this trike, I was going too fast down through the desert, down in Las Cruces on the Chihuahuan Desert, and I hit a at the bottom. It was in the winter time, so the sand was frozen, and I was coming down a hill, and I was gaining speed to climb a hill, and at the bottom there was a shadow, and there was a trench across the bottom, a rut from a motorcycle that had went across. Well, it was frozen, so it was hard. And when I hit that rut, the front, I didn't see it. By the time I saw it, it was too late. And as I crossed over it, the front of my trike went airborne. And my feet came out of the straps. Came up in the air like that. And I almost came out of the trike, almost crashed. And I got back, I started to head back home, and my front end was out of tow. It was crabbing. So I said, oh, I bent something. So I got home and I checked my toe was way out, so I adjusted it a lot, and it's been riding. But ever since then, this headset right over here has been real loose. And I know how to adjust them. You pull this off right here and loosen it up, and you loosen your fender and your steering. Take these two loose and your fender loose, and then you get back underneath here. There's a number 5, and you just start turning it clockwise, and you do it about a quarter turn at a time to take the play out of the bearing, to squeeze it together like this. Well, I can't do that on this. It won't go. So if you look at the fender, you can see it really good here on the wheel. You see how much movement I got? It should not be doing that. It should be like this side. See, it's not doing that. Over here it does. It moves quite a bit. So you should be able to tighten it up on the headset. Well, I can't. So I took it all apart, and I got with SunSeeker Jason at electrictrike.com, and they did a parts breakdown for me of what the front end looked like in here, the shock, how this whole front suspension works. And it appears that when I airborned the front of my trike up in the air, I bent that shock, and it will no longer compress all the way back here. This measurement here is much higher than this side. This is about a quarter of an inch off from this side, so it won't go up in here like it's supposed to because it's bent. So Jason sent me a new assembly, and I'll show it to you. So today I'm going to take it apart and put it together and show you how to make your adjustments, and hopefully that remedies the play in the front. If not, then I don't know what to do after that. But it's got way too much play in the front handle, and that's not safe either. So I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna try fixing it today, and I'm gonna videotape it so you can watch me work on my trike. Tadpole Smitty's garage. Let's get with it. All right, let's start this bad boy up. throw this bad boy in the garage. So I got to take this all apart, take the tire off, take the rim, everything, not the rim, the tire off the bike, take the disc brake off, and take this off right here, the caliper, take the front wheel off, take all this apart, slide this shock out, and here's what it looks like when it comes. There's two pieces in here. There's an upper and lower piece, and that's where your spring's at in here. And this piece, this smaller piece, slides up in this tube. I wish I could show it to you. Maybe when I get the other one apart, I can. It's got a shape to it, like a octagon shape. And it's got an octagon shape, and the female octagon shape's in this tube, and it lets this part slides inside, up and down in this tube, and the spring bottoms out. That's your spring. This is your shock on the front of a CSX. That's what it looks like. Kind of see how it slides in there. And apparently I bent the one that's on the trike, so that's on there now. So let's take off the old one, and we'll put this new one on and see if that'll fix my problem. Now what we want to do is pull the little plastic cover off the button here. Sets down inside that Allen head. Yeah, it's a number 5. You loosen all, this is the handlebar set. You loosen this. We're just loosening stuff right now. I'm not taking anything apart. Backing it off. And loosen it. And then this one's smaller here. The fender. Front. Okay. Now I pull the brake caliper off. Number 5. There's some 2 bolts. Let's take these 2 number 5s out. And that drops the caliper apart. Now we just take this number, what is that, a number 8? And they're pretty tight. It's aluminum. Number 5. That takes the wheel off the axle. Number 5. And a washer. And that allows your front tire to come completely off. 13. And you have to put a number 5 on top, Allen. See, this is sticking out a lot more than the new one. So I bent this somehow. Well, I know how I bent it. I told you how I bent it. I don't know where exactly it's bent. The two pieces slide inside of each other, and apparently it can't slide anymore because it's bent. And it's my own damn fault. I talk about it in my early videos. This trike is capable, this big old motor is capable of tearing itself up because it just gets after it. So you want to pull this cap off the top right here. Pull that out. And then you pull the cap off. Take the handlebar off. Lay down there, take the fender off. That's out of the way. Now we take the bearings out. Take that out. There's the bottom race, which comes on the new one. The plastic seal, the bearing. I've got new bearings. And these come off. Okay. So this is the top set, just like that. And this is the bottom set, just like that. So we're going to put these just like that. Okay, now I got to get this bolt off, put the spindle back in here. And put that in the vise. It's chamfered there for that. Got to get a socket for that, or a wrench. Number 19 socket. I had to use air impact or electric impact. Dr. Smitty to the ER.
All doctors to the ER.
Emergency surgery required on a warthog. Fatty. Gonna lube it. Gotta lube the luber. Dr. Feelgood. A little bit of waterproof grease never hurt nobody.
Security to the ER.
Stat.
It helps here if you wiggle it. Just like that. Put the fender on. We put the handlebars on. I'm going to put the tie rod in the inner one. That's how the instructions say. I had it in the inner, the closest to the tire, because it was bent. and that's the only way I could tow it in. So right now I'm going to try to tow it in from, or the one closest to the center of the bike. If that don't work, then I can move it to the other one, because it has two positions on both sides. You don't have to put Loctite. This is a nylock. No Loctite on the tie rod end. Right now I'm not going to tighten it up. I'm just going to leave it loose. Now I'm going to put the tire on to get pressure up on it so I can put everything back together. Okay, a little bit of grease on this too. Just like that. Number 5. I'll go back around and torque everything once I get it kind of put together. Now I can take it off my maintenance stand. You want pressure up on the headset, so that's why you want the bike down back on its wheel. Okay, these are the brake parts, a little bit of blue. I can't see with or without my glasses. Like you ain't never heard that before, right? I'm getting cataracts because I'm getting old. And I got diabetic neuropathy, so I can't focus real well. They tell me I got to do surgery, but it ain't bad enough yet to get insurance to cover it. Maybe next year. They wait until it gets bad enough. Golly. This spring goes on top of the handlebars, and then this cap sits down there. Okay, so you want to kind of line up your fenders and your handlebars, kind of where you want them. And what we're going to try to do is compress the bearings in here. And pinch the headset up against, we're going to be squeezing all of this. And this pushes down on this and pulls up on that stem, putting compression on the bearing headset. And it's got a long ways to go. You can see it. Let's do that now. See, it's coming together. You just heard it pop. Yeah, it's tight. It's getting tight. I'm going to take it a little tighter. You don't want to overdo it because it'll bring that flange nut that's down in here in the tube. It'll start sucking it backwards. You don't want to over tighten this. You only want to tighten it until it, see, it's not wobbling anymore. It fixed the problem. So after you get that done, it's about the same distance right here on both sides on your handlebars. This is how you swing your handlebars this way. Once you kind of get it to where you want it, you tighten these down. And you don't want to over tighten these either, but you want them tight enough to where they won't move when you're pulling or pushing on them. Getting in and out of your trike, you're in a rough terrain, you don't want them to move. But you don't want to over pinch this either. And to tell you the truth, I don't know what the torque setting is. I just know I take them tight, but not overly tight. You'll notice how I'm holding my Allen wrench. I'm not out here on the end. My hands are calibrated from all the years of mechanicking, and I use it in tighter so I don't have so much leverage. And then you kind of evenly tighten them down like that. Now I'm going to go out on the end now, and I'm going to put a little stink on it. Just a little bit. I don't want to strip the bolt. There. Yeah, that's way better. And then you want to tighten down the fender. And you don't need to over tighten this one either. Just tighten. That's it. You want to go around and check everything and make sure everything's tight. You want to go around and check all the fittings and your brakes. Just double check. So let's sit down in this bad boy. Right here. Oh yeah, finally got my seat figured out. I put this foam. You can get them at Ross for $6-7. Just a foam pad you put in your driver's seat. Slid it up underneath the inside of the SunSeeker, underneath its foam that it came with factory. This seat is comfortable now. It is a dream seat now. You can get them at Ross for $6-7 for that pad. It's a kind of a stiffer gel pad. There's different thicknesses over there. I went and seen them just the other day. So, want to put your feet in the pedals, and you want to grab this wheel, keeping the other one tight, and it's tight now. That headset is tight now. So now I got to check the toe. I'm going to put it up against the curb to get my front tire straight. Tell by looking at it, it's straight. And I can measure too. What you need is a curtain rod that's about the right width to fit in between the wheels, and a pencil, not a magic marker, nothing, a pencil, because you're going to have to erase the mark, okay? And we're going to measure with this. Use it as our stick, measuring stick. So I'm pretty close, but I want to really dial it in now. So I'm going to take this, take that, and you take your curtain rod here, right around the center, and you just take it out until it's tight. Not real tight, just snug, to where it goes in and out. And then you take it out, and you want to make a mark on the curtain rod with the pencil. Okay, see, I marked that with a pencil right there. Okay, now take it back here to the back, and screw it in. And I mark it again with the pencil. And then I open it up until I see my other mark. And that shows you how far off it is. And it's quite a bit. It's over 1/4 of an inch. We are out, like I said, it was just shy of a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take 1/4 inch out, because when you move the wheel, the same distance is going to go out on the front as it does on the back. So you don't do a 1/2 inch on the front, then you're going to be out on the back. So we're going to split the difference and do about a 1/4 inch pull in. It's out too far in the front, so we want to bring the front end. Okay, the way we do that is we loosen the tie rod ends. So SunSeeker has the instructions in their maintenance manual that you buy, or when you get your trike, it shows you how to basically put your trike together as if you were building it from scratch. Right here it shows you the position, shows you how to measure the tie rod. One side's left hand and the other side's right hand threaded, so you got to be careful. There's plenty of YouTubes on how to set up the toe on a CSX. Curtain rod to, it's adjustable. The curtain rod has a, it screws in and out, right? So you get the front about the same and the back about the same, and you're pretty good. And then you take it out and test drive it on a hard surface. And if it's fighting you or it doesn't go real well, then you got it pretty close. If you need to adjust it, you can. But the instructions here, setting front wheel toe in angle, tells you how to do it right here in the instructions. And they're pretty good. Also tells you that the supposed to be on the inner closest hole to your leg. There's 2 holes in the arm that comes off the front end for the tie rod in. The steering linkage, it needs to go into one closest to your legs on both sides. Now, I've seen YouTubes where people had to cut down the tie rod because it was too long. And that was my case. So I took a grinder, and I cut about 1/8 of an inch off each end, and then rethreaded my, cleaned up the threads on my tie rod end to get enough to adjust. I don't know why they make them so long. Anyway, so that's fixed my problem. The shock was bent. Anyway, folks, if you cannot tighten up your headset to get it tight, you might want to check what I just had to do. Some of you riding the CSX off-road may have bent your front shock, and you can get that part from, I got mine from electric.com. A lot of people sell these trikes, so JBL, whoever makes SunSeeker makes the parts. They sent it to, it was drop shipped to me directly from the manufacturer. So if you run into problems, you might want to check that out. Anyway, people, this is Tadpole Smitty from Tadpole Smitty's Garage. Like and subscribe. Send me to your friends and on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else you want to send me to. Tell people what I do. I hope you like my channel. I enjoy doing this stuff for y'all. Anyway, until next time, folks. Beautiful sunset. Until next time, folks, this is Tadpole Smitty. Happy rides.